Kayfabe Confidential features the greatest superstars of the premier wrestling organization in Southwest Ohio, Xtreme Valley Wrestling. Step into the ring and get the scoop on all the mat-pounding madness that goes on in XVW. Get the hardcore truth about life as an independent pro wrestler and find out about upcoming XVW events. Are you ready to enter the Valley of Xtreme? Get the inside scoop on Kayfabe Confidential.
Oh, hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, the happy hippie Philip the Bong, coming to you with Kayfabe Confidential. And my guests tonight are the, who is he? The forgotten one, Ethan Evans.
I love what you did there.
Hey, you like that, man? You like that? And his lovely fiance, Miss Ruby Diamond. What is going on, guys? Welcome to Kayfabe Confidential.
What's going on, man?
Oh, man, I come down off the high road for this. I've been looking forward to it, man.
Brother, I can tell because, you know, every single time I see it, I hear a thing of Gorilla Glue going around the room, I know exactly who's in there.
You know who's coming around, huh? Well, I tell you what, most people, Ethan, around here, around the Valley of Xtreme, is scared of you, intimidated by you. And, you know, at times when I see you in the ring, I think, man, they should be. But you and I have always been on a good vibe level. We've got along from the very first time I met you. And I've been watching you pretty much your whole career. And Miss Ruby, we've always been friends, man, from day one. Yeah,
Yes,
man. But Ethan, tonight I am going to ask you some tough questions. I am. I kind of want to get inside that head because I want to see where did the forgotten one come from, and I think to do that we got to go way back. What was it like growing up as Ethan Evans?
How long we got? Well, the Forgotten One started, like, I was a really big fan of the Monster Abyss growing up when, like, watching TNA, Six-Sided Ring. I was always a fan of the hardcore stuff. And my grandmother said, you know, all your dreams before this is going to be forgotten if you want to keep going towards this. And I'm like, Forgotten One? Super indie, but I like it. I'm going to work with it.
So you've taken that ball and ran, so to say.
Well, my mama ain't around anymore, so.
No, God rest her soul, man. God rest her soul. Later we will, you know, definitely put one in the air for her, man. You know what I'm saying? But I still kind of, I understand now where the name kind of came from, but there's more to the Forgotten One than just the name. And so at school, were you the bully? Were you the one in the back of the room nobody talked to? Were you vibrant?
I was always the one that the kids would always feel like that he was going to do something. Like,
I'll give you $1 if you eat this bug type thing?
No, I'm talking about
bad things.
Talking about the bad things. They were always scared of me.
Oh, say the outcast.
No, the exact word. I was the outcast, and that kind of moved into XVW when I first started here, because I wasn't always Ethan Evans. I started out, I think it was like Ethan Steele, like 3 years ago.
I remember your first time, man. And I'm going to be honest, this is before Philip was behind the commentator's table. I remember where it was at Odd Bodies, wasn't it?
I did do a spot in Odd Bodies with Bryant Huff.
So
he ended up kicking me in the face. And
that's how far I go back. So this must have been a Unity then.
This was definitely the Unity.
Yeah. I was sitting in the stands watching that, Ethan, and let me tell you, boy, you've come a long way since those days.
I went from black and white trunks.
So I'm still trying to get into the Forgotten Son, trying to just understand him a little bit more on a hippie level, you know what I mean? So when you say the dangerous stuff, was it like beating kids up dangerous or jumping out of a tree on your head dangerous? Like jackass or stuff. Sorry, Dale. Dale's going to kill me. Dale's going to kill me for that one.
Can we buff that out, though? But a lot of the times I was beat up in school. and that's how I would deal with the pain. That's why I can do the stuff that I can do.
And that's why it's kind of led into this. I was just getting ready to say, so that's kind of what molded you into Ethan Evans, the Forgotten One, was
Exactly.
that. When did you start fighting back in school, or did you put that more into like the wrestling or something else at that time?
At the time, I would take it out of school, and there would be times where I would take that stuff out on other people. I would take it at school, and then I'd come home and I'd take it out on like my mom, my sisters. It was a rough time.
Well, it seems like, again, you've come a long way since those days, because I just seen that smile on your face. You definitely look happy right now, and I hope I'm not stirring nothing up. I really do. You kind of give me, in ways, you remind me of Raven, and by that what I mean is you're kind of a loner at times. But then at times you have guys that are, what word am I looking for? Maybe not less fortunate. Maybe that people don't see the potential in, and you do. Have people always gravitated towards you like that? Did you, and when I say this word, I mean it with all due respect, Ethan, did the Misfits always kind of come your way, or did you kind of learn to use that as a tool to help protect you from, some of those demons?
You see, I use that more as like a tool, because like I know there's people who, like, I'll back people up, and I know they'll back me up.
There's some people that prey on your downfall.
Exactly.
Then, from the sounds of it, that's gone back all the way, as long as you can remember in your life.
I guarantee you it's been going on way longer than what I can remember. But
all right, let's move into something happier.
Yeah,
The happy hippie, you're making me frown, and I don't like that, man.
I don't know.
We might have to take a little smoke break.
Hey, we went a little bit too dark.
Yeah, we
Hey,
did.
hey, you already gave me that idea.
What was your earliest memories of wrestling?
Jesus. I just graduated from going from kindergarten up to first grade. And my mom and my grandmother took me to US Bank Arena, and we watched, it was TNA. It was a live event of TNA. And the main event of that whole show was AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. And
I was at that show, man.
oh, you were at that show?
I live down there, man. The high road is south, actually.
So, if you remember at the end of that,
I don't remember nothing,
well,
man.
you're the happy hippie. I don't think you're going to remember. But at the end of that show, all of the, like, Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, they were inviting people into the ring to take Polaroid pictures. And the first time that I ever stepped foot into that ring, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do.
You knew right in that moment.
I got to meet Abyss that day, too, and I was kind of scared.
So I know you said Abyss was your favorite, and he's kind of like that Forgotten One, kind of dark, tormented, kind of reminds me of yourself. Was there anybody else growing up? I'm going to be honest. I watched TNA when it came to town. I didn't watch it all the time on TV. Of course, being the wrestling dork I am, I've read about everybody and know everything. Was there anybody else you know from? Where are you? Are you old enough to remember WCW, man? Or
I'm not old enough to remember being at like watching WCW, but I've been watching wrestling for so long that I know about WCW. I know about
anybody
Sid
from
Vicious.
that's I guess that's what I was getting at. There's been some great guys over the years. I don't want to say villains, because Ethan's, I don't know if you're necessarily a bad guy, as they would say. I kind of just think sometimes you're a little misunderstood, because I've seen over the last I don't know, man, 8 months, 10 months, a year or so, what you've progressed to. But we'll get to that here in a little bit. I had to get that out there. So, talking about your earliest memories, is there, besides Abyss, anybody else that you've kind of...
We've got people like Vampiro, Sting, Bray Wyatt.
Seeing, this is exactly why I wanted to bring somebody like you in for Kayfabe Confidential, because those aren't your typical answers. At one time, Bray Wyatt was the popular answer, but in another era, Bray Wyatt wouldn't have been looked at the same he
Good old
was
Husky
now.
Harris.
Yeah, so all right, so we kind of talked about that. How did you get into the wrestling business? You're a young guy. How old were you? Well, let me ask you that. How old are you now?
I am 23.
23. All right, you are a young guy. Wow.
I'm probably one of the youngest hardcore
So,
wrestlers.
how old were you when you got started, and how did you get into it? Who was tell me all of it.
I want to say that I started training around 2021. I trained at Cody Hawk's school in Hamilton, Ohio for Future Great Wrestling. I trained under him. I trained under Ryan Michaels and Aaron Williams, and I've had so many people I've had people who don't even work for XPW. Like, they've brought me up underneath their wing.
Yeah, most of the guys that sat in that chair prior to you has told me this guy's had a hand, this guy's had a hand. So I don't think you could ever. And I think the longer you're into business, the more people you're going to add to that list. I think that's a list that's never going to end. And then you start to learn stuff from yourself, and then at a certain point, you start to pull people up with you, and and I'm sure there's some guys, and we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But how long were you training again? How old were you when you started training?
It was about 3-4 years ago, so I was freshly
18, 19 years old.
19,
Yeah. How long were you training before you had your first match?
I trained for a year and a half.
All right, yeah. It takes some time, guys, a little bit longer to smoke their doobie than others. You know what I'm saying, man? No, actually, that's not surprising. You're not the first person I've heard say, it took me 2 years before they even thought about putting me into a ring. Did you start off the hardcore ultra-violent type stuff, or... And again, everybody else has told me the same thing, because I guess you got to build that foundation before you could build a house.
Yeah. So the first, within the first maybe year and a half of my training, my first time being on shows, I was doing just regular matches. I'd do singles matches, tag matches. It might be maybe a Falls Count Anywhere match 1 or 2 times. But it's mainly just singles matches. And then I had that little taste of hardcore when I wrestled Matt Vengeance on an episode of XPW. And I was like, blood. I think I like this. I'm going to keep doing this.
And something just switched in you, huh? Let me ask you this, because I don't know. Well, I do know, but I'm ready to talk to her a little bit. So, how long did it take for business and I guess family to come together?
So, it was near the beginning of 2025. God rest his soul. After our test passed away. I was really down. I was really down in the dumps.
All of us were, man, and that's not. I'm going to stop you there for a second. We'll get back to it. Hold your spot. Just you brought up his name, and we've talked about him more than once in this room. We love you, brother. We're never going to let your name die ever, as long as we live. Get back to it, brother.
But while grieving with that, before that, I met her, and we were friends because I met her through Derek, actually.
Derek McGraw.
My best friend, man.
My father, yeah.
A lot of us have different opinions on that. Man.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
We'll get to that later. But I met her through Derek, and I was like, hey, I'm wrestling on Friday. You want to come out? She was like, oh, I already got plans. What are you doing?
She played hard to get. I like it, man.
No, she's like,
hold on, let me stop you there. Was you already interested at that point? Was you making a play hard to get?
I'm going to be honest. I wasn't looking at anything and anybody at wrestling because 23 years being around the business, I
You kind of made that rule that everybody breaks.
I knew not to mix pleasure with business.
Everybody breaks it.
Oh, yeah. It happens quite a few times. But no, our test ended up passing away. I did end up coming to a couple shows before that. And I don't know, it was just something that just clicked. He was wrestling
if
my
you
dad.
know, you know.
Yeah.
I think the first time we ever had an interaction, you were sitting in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I was wrestling Logan Drake, if anybody remembers that match.
I do. Here we. So, you said this, and it kind of just stuck out in my mind when you said it. You said about the beginning of 2025. And I mentioned it earlier, the last 8, 10, 12 months, it's been the best I've seen in the ring. And the smile on your face, I don't think it's any coincidence. Do you?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence. Her 23 years around the business and knowing things, and she just, not even being in the ring, just her giving me little critiques on things.
Teaching you lessons that most people would never see or know if they wasn't around the business this long.
Helping him become better than what he's used to.
I seen you last week, and I was talking, and I asked you, I said, how long have you been around the business? And you literally told me your mom was pregnant at ringside with you in her belly. So, you know, dude, who better to have on your side, really? And like I said, it's brought you a long way. It's got you to Xtreme Valley Wrestling Hardcore Championship. But before we're definitely going to get to that, I seen you come in as Ethan Steele, and I've kind of seen you evolve into what you are now, and talking about where you've come in a short amount of time, really. But I want to kind of talk about right before that. I watched the struggles. I watched them. And how did you, especially being in the mindset and the Forgotten One before Ruby, Diamond, and I knew you then, and you're a completely different person. How did you get through that lull, that slump, so to say?
I had friends, I had family, I had the bong.
We've always, again, been buddies since day one.
We love. Shout out to the bong. But
thank you.
Just wrestling. Since that time, everybody's known me to be the hardcore guy. I've always been in the ring. So with my struggle with mental illness, with my thoughts and everything that I have, doing hardcore, doing the crazy, outrageous stuff that I do has always played a part in keeping me sane.
You know, I mentioned something earlier about if he could be a serial killer or a wrestler, and he kind of went this way. And I don't get the serial killer vibes from you, but I could definitely get somebody that could have took a whole different dark path. Drugs, robbing, stealing, me. You know, I don't know what it could be because I don't want to speak it into existence.
I don't.
But instead, you chose the professional wrestling and the hardcore lifestyle, and it's definitely a lifestyle. And let's be honest, I've talked to more than one hardcore person here. Your dad sitting here, and it almost hearing it sounds like it's an addiction. You want to see that blood, and not their blood, your blood.
It's I feel like it's more the adrenaline. Like, I get hit with it and I'm like, ooh, adrenaline, blood. I'm kind of happy. Let's keep going.
Yeah, that just
Adrenaline junkie.
that mindset just blows my mind. And I've said this to you, and I've said it to the other hardcore guys sitting in this chair, and I say it with all due respect. It's just a special kind of dumb. How do you, all due respect, I mean it, how do you, Ruby, stand there. I mean, it's got to be tough to watch.
I've had my fair shares of standing by the ring and recording his matches before I became Ruby. And I've even helped set up ropes filled with barbed wire, wrapped all the way around the ring.
I've seen you doing it, man.
I want
And-
to
Recently.
We don't want to recap of the whole show, okay?
No.
But it honestly hurts me to see him hurt himself, but I know that's the only way he can express stuff
You know
that he's
what it
been
means.
through.
You know what it means to him, and what
Adrenaline's a crazy thing.
Yeah, and
It really
and
is.
you know, let's be honest, the violent style, the ultra violence is, I've been saying, that's really the only word I could think of. It's a way to vent. It's a way to take out your frustrations, and so
I will say that I've never seen somebody put their body through as much stuff as him and Matt Vengeance, and to see them just keep going and going until they can't go no more.
two of the toughest
It's
SOBs
crazy.
I have ever seen inside the squared circle.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of spot after spot, skids,
Oh my
barbed wire, tacks,
Light tube.
Skewers.
light tubes,
Oh my God, the
skewers.
skewers.
All right, so the skewers came up, and I'm gonna.
Oh God! Here we
Matt,
go.
you had Matt Vengeance in here?
I've had Matt Vengeance in here, and
Oh.
so I've talked to another wrestler that wasn't Matt. I'm not going to mention no names, and I'm going to ask you guys both the same question. So he told me the worst thing about the skewers is not only can you feel it going through the gristle in your head, but you could hear it as it's going through. Is there any truth to this?
That, yeah, I'm gonna look in this camera when I say that. That is 100% true. That is the scariest and the most painful thing I have ever experienced in my life.
And that's coming from a man I've seen drop from 12, 14 foot in the air through tables and on skids. And, yeah, so is there, that just brutal. And
And that's goosebumps.
is there anything that what's the worst thing you've ever taken?
Oh man!
Should I tell the story?
Just get to the point.
Milan, Indiana last year. I ended up getting thrown over the top rope, and it's the same barbed wire match she was talking about. I ended up getting thrown over the top rope, and half of me landed on the barbed wire board, and half of me landed on the concrete. So I feel like the worst.
Damn
the
near
best-
broke you in half,
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
it, man?
The
Did you
best-
think your spine snapped in two?
I couldn't walk straight for 2 weeks.
He had a major bruise for
So,
weeks.
I'm gonna say the worst thing to take is concrete.
Wow, I can see that because there's definitely no give to concrete at all.
I mean, anything can be a weapon.
Is there anything? I guess Miss Ruby is. What's the worst thing you've seen? I just heard that, but I know there's probably one from.
Let's hear this one.
So, watching him do the hardcore stuff, yes, the adrenaline's crazy. The worst thing I've seen him do is put a light tube in his mouth and crush it with his teeth.
Oh, that's my favorite thing to do.
And continue wrestling like he did not just cut his mouth to
So
shreds.
now, with you saying that, your dad told me that he absolutely hates light tubes. So
My dad has cracked Ethan a couple times with him.
and light tubes are kind of.
A scary thing.
Yeah, scary thing for sure. But every time they come up in this room, it's everybody has the same
The
look on
fans
their
love
face.
it.
Fans love it. I said it about the skewers earlier, and I'm going to say it about the light tubes. Visually, it is absolutely stunningly brutal.
yeah.
It is, and if it looks that way, I can only imagine how it feels.
It's not the worst thing that I've ever had racked around my head, but it's definitely up there.
The fans definitely eat at it.
The worst thing I ever had wrapped around my head was a prostitute. Oh,
Hey!
hey,
Dale,
and
cut-
the worst part, it cost me money, man.
Oh my.
It almost choked me out.
Devon,
So,
back
but,
on
hey,
subject.
Long.
Let's get back to
Oh God, please.
so family and business come together, but there's positives to that,
Man.
and there's also negatives to that.
And right now there's a really big negative.
A really big negative. So, and it was on a moment of truth in Camden, Ohio. Ethan, I'm sorry. I told you I wasn't going to pull any punches. You sucker punched Derek, her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife Diamond was none too happy.
Oh, no.
And his daughter Ruby Diamond was none too happy.
Yeah.
And one of them smacked and then the other one smacked the spit out your mouth, bro.
That
More like
wasn't-
cocock.
I was about to say, that was no slap. That was a punch. And you want to know something? That's probably the proudest I've ever been of her. I'm going to just throw that out there now. That was the first time that I've ever been hit by a woman that felt like a full-grown man.
I was standing in the ring, and when you looked up, you had a little smirk on your face. So you kind of liked it, didn't you?
Oh, Lord.
It wasn't as bad getting home as I thought it was it? Oh, I forgot. I forgot. It's just not us talking. But no, seriously, it's got to be awkward come dinner time on Sunday at the McGraw household when you all show up.
A little
There
bit.
was no dinner for me when I showed up.
Well,
No, he slept in the doghouse all night.
I didn't sleep in the doghouse. I slept on the couch. And that couch is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Careful
excuse me.
smoking. It might
Excuse
a little
me.
bit.
So, how do you separate the two? I guess this question is for the two of you.
It's hard to separate life and business. I think you can agree with that.
At the end of the day, when it becomes family and business, there's a way to mix both of them without bad tension.
But kind of in a way, you said the two words, and we've said them multiple times. It is the family business.
It is.
And I know I should probably go to the horse's mouth, for lack of a better word. How does Derek and Diamond? I mean, is that awkward? Do you come around? Is it? Are you guys watching the ball game later tonight? The Reds beating New York again.
Dad's probably watching the Reds.
I know
to
he
be
is.
honest.
Yeah, I can agree with that, Darren.
And that's Buck Johnson all day long.
So we're getting close to the ends, and I always like to ask a couple questions just for fun. Anybody, not only on the XVW roster, but roster anywhere, all time, anybody you'd really want to step in the ring with?
I'm going to say this, and I hope it comes to light, because he was one of my best friends before I became the forgotten one. Bryant Huff. I would love to step in the ring with Bryant again.
Let me ask you this, and what kind of matchup?
Just a regular match. I'm one of the hardcore guys who can do hardcore, but I can also work.
So we got to kind of make this quick. We're running short on time.
Oh, yeah.
Is it hard to what's the difference between the two? Your mindset wise, or do you go in with the same mindset? But you can't do some of the, how's that work mind wise?
I go in with the same mindset as I do for every other match. Go in, win, go home.
I guess that makes it easy, and that's what's made you Extreme Valley Wrestling hardcore champion. So, I know you're the XVW hardcore champion. What's the next step? What's the next goal?
To be the face of the company. I want to go after the heavyweight.
So, does it matter to you? We seen what happened not long ago.
I don't care.
Ari, Nate, Bryant, maybe.
It could be Ari. It can be Nate. It could be Tom McLean himself. I don't care who I step into the ring with. I'm aiming to be the top of this company, and I'm gonna make it there.
And you're gonna do everything you can to pull him up there to that level, ain't you?
As long as he stays out of my family business, that's all I care about.
But we got to deal with that business first. before we get to there.
And I'm sure that's going to happen soon enough. Well, guys, we're quickly running out of time. That it goes by so quick, but
Oh yeah.
I do want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being here on Kayfabe Confidential tonight, Ruby. We go way back. I love you,
Absolutely.
darling. Always have. Ethan, like I said, I remember you when you first stepped through that curtain.
Let's not talk about the
And
shorts.
now, and now watching you, it surprises me. No, not surprises me is the wrong word. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm proud of you, man. You've come a really long way, and I truly mean that. And I can't wait to see where you go because your future's bright, and I think it's going to be more than just that championship title. Thanks again, guys, for being here on Kayfabe Confidential. Love you guys, and that's the truth. Peace, love, and wrestling, man.